Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be going over how to get better at combat / PvP. There's going to be 3 sections to this video going over different parts of like PvP, and those are recoil / recoil patterns, attachments, and tips / tricks. So let's get straight into it. To start things off, we are going to be going over recoil. Every gun has different patterns, but 2 specifically stick out, which are the AQ-74 and Salvage Edition G. And the reason they stick out is because the patterns are significantly harder than every other weapon. Now, I'd recommend to practice and master these weapons first, as you'll usually be using them the most, as a lot of people play 1 times and 2 times rather than 5 times. Next off is the AK-47. Now, the AK-47 isn't that hard, neither is the rest of the weapons, as all the weapons go straight in one direction or slightly toned to another direction. Sights do increase recoil, well, at least they feel like it from a first-person perspective. It feels harder to control recoil on ACOG and horror instead of simple sight, and the reason for this is you're more aimed in with the other 2 rather than the simple one. Now, after you have practiced both the SMG and the AKU for a while, I'd say move on to the AK-47 and practice it. And once you've mastered all these weapons, you can dominate servers, but that's not all, as we're going into attachments. Next on the list is attachments, and attachments are super useful as they help in gunplay a lot. To make things easier, I've split all the attachments into 3 types: sights, muzzles, and lasers. Now, lasers are super useful as they help reduce aim cone when turned on, and aim cone can be a problem for a lot of guns, so you really need a salvage laser or a military one. Both are good, but military is the best. And flashlight is useless unless you don't have gamma, which I will go over later. Next off are muzzles. Now, on almost every weapon, I recommend never using a muzzle, but if you're new, I'd say using compensator, as it helps reduce recoil, making it easier, but I try not to use it as fast as possible, as it has a lot of downsides. But if you're good enough, I'd say use a muzzle boost, as it increases fire rate at the cost of aim cone being increased, but it's not noticeable on AK-47 or many other weapons unless you're at long ranges. Now, the silencer is almost useless. I'd say to never use it unless you're going to try to do a sneak attack. Sights are needed as they reduce aim cone. Now, out of all the 5 sights in the game, horror and ACOG are the best, as they reduce aim cone by 20%, which is very good. The simple sight can be used if you don't have a horror ACOG yet, but I wouldn't recommend it. The sniper scopes 4 times and 8 times shouldn't really ever be used unless you're using a Barrett or a PKM, as they both increase recoil by 50%. Now, this section is just random tips to help you improve and get better at combat. Firstly, crouching significantly reduces recoil, which can be useful at long ranges. Now, I'd say never crouch medium to close range, as it won't help much and you're just letting yourself be shot easier. Movement is very useful to get good at round PvP. Now, while you're getting shot at, look down at the ground while running so it's harder to get headshot. And at close ranges, spam crouch up and down so it's also harder to hit your head. Also, if someone is holding a peek / angle, you should do a thing I like to call peek baiting, where you peek it for a quarter of a second to make them waste their ammo, so you can peek them while they're reloading. Gamma is a super useful thing, which can help you see better at night. To turn it on, you have to type in calibrate display color, click next 3 times, and bring the sliding bar to the top. Now, after you have done this, you can see a lot better at nighttime. Now, that's all I have for now, and I'll probably make a new one in the future, but for now I hope you guys enjoyed this beginner's guide.